Hey guys, what's up? It's Filter SC here, and I'm back for just a little bit of a video. And I thought, because a lot of Protoss players are having a hard time with PvT right now, that I would just throw together a little bit of a video that will give you the upper hand for the most part in the games that you're playing, and you can kind of decide how you want to take this and what you want to do with it. But this is a build order I don't see very often when I'm playing, but you see it all the time at high-level professional play. Now, obviously, at pro level, it's going to get executed a little bit better, and I'm going to show you here, because I'm still not the best at executing it. But the core concept is here, and how you want to decide to take it from the initial opener is entirely up to you. Now, the whole point behind this is a lot of Terran players, like, they'll scout for the proxy oracle, they'll scout for the one base oracle, they'll scout for that kind of stuff. But a lot of Terran players will be a little bit lazy when it comes to having their Marines in the main mineral line and throwing a turret up there. Even Flash, as an example, will, when he's playing against a Protoss player, unless he feels like they're going to go Oracle, he generally just doesn't even build a missile turret in his main, right? So it's really, really simple and straightforward, and it's going to give you a nice advantage. Now, in this case, it's very simple. It's just 9 pylon, and then after your pylon finishes, you chrono probes, obviously. And then you go 13 gateway. On your gateway, you go scout. You can kind of figure out what the Terran's doing from there. Now, when you go scout, it is actually quite important to see what the Terran player is doing. But just really quick, in terms of the build order, we're just grabbing a 15 gas, and we're going to get a 16 pylon, an 18 cybernetics core, and then finally we're going to get ourselves a 19 second gas. And when our first gas finishes, we're only going to put 2 guys in it, not 3. We just want to put 2 in. We'll get 3 later on. We want to maximize the mineral income for the time being, though. Now, when you're scouting the Terran player, what you're looking for is you're hoping the Terran player goes for a Reaper expand, or, you know, just a plain old barracks, 1-racks FE, or they go command center first. All those options make this pretty viable. What you do want to avoid is doing this into gas first, because your robotics facility is going to be a little bit late. And the other one that's tough is the 15 gas from a Terran player. So if he's just taking his gas kind of as you are in his base, like, you can look at your own supply and see where you're at, right? If his gas is just kind of coming up when you get there, it's most likely a 15 gas. The most common build order off that is going to be a Widowmine drop, so you need to get the Robo up ASAP in that particular situation. However, for our purposes, we're not looking to do that. And what we want to do here is, you're going to see really quickly, what you do is you make a Zealot, and until the Zealot is about to finish, you cancel it, and that's just in case they do an engineering bait block on you. A lot of Terran players won't do that. But if they don't do it, you just cancel the Zealot, you get your Nexus on 21, then you get a Mothership core, then you're going to look to get a Stalker on 23 supply, and then finally you get a Pylon after you start the Stalker, and then you start Warp Gate. So it's really important to just, like, leave Warp Gate alone. You don't need it right away. You can wait until you get that Pylon and all that up. It's going to be really tempting to get it before you even get your Stalker sometimes, because you're going to have to wait for the money for the Stalker. Don't bother, it's not worth it. Once you build that 3rd pylon, that's when you're going to want to start to get back into your gas. And then what you do with your first Stalker, and we're going to make a second Stalker as well. The point of those 2 Stalkers is there's 2 reasons to have them. Number 1, if there's a Hellion run by, you can have your 2 Stalkers on the ramp and block it without having the sentry necessarily. And then the second part is to hopefully deny the Reaper scout. Once you're confident the Reaper's probably not coming, and you've got all your Stalkers and all that on the way, or you've killed the Reaper, even better, right? Because a lot of Terran players will overscout the Reaper too early and they won't get the information they want. That's when you throw down your Stargate. So as you can see, I'm throwing down my Stargate. This is not that time sensitive, by the way, guys. You don't need to have it down immediately. It's okay to delay it a little bit if there's a Reaper in your base or something. But it doesn't matter. You just want to get the Stargate down eventually. And then from there, you're going to look to build up a count of about 3 sentries. And if you want to go Phoenix Colossus, you're going to focus mostly on Zealots. If you don't want to go Phoenix Colossus and you just want to get only the Oracle and leave it at that, then you can start getting your Stalker count up to like that 6, 8, 10 mark and go into like Blink and plus attack and all that stuff. If you're going the Zealot route for Phoenix Colossus, you want to get plus armor upgrades and all that kind of stuff, right? So again, very, very simple. Don't take the gas in your natural until you get up to 16 out of 16 SCV, or not SCVs, that'd be 16 out of 16 probes. You just want to chill and wait on that. If you take the gas too early, you end up with too much gas and not enough minerals, which is another really bad thing. But the entire point behind this and getting the delayed Oracle is you want to catch a Terran that's either being one of 2 things, either being lazy or being kind of stupid. So what do I mean by that? Maybe he doesn't scout you at all, or if he's lazy like me, he just won't have the Marines there, right? You'll get, you know, like 8, 9, 10 worker kills sometimes. If he does build the missile turrets, and your Oracle is going to get denied from killing SCVs on the mineral line, try to find, you know, openings. Try to kill the guy making the factory, kill the guys making extra barracks. Keep the Oracle alive, though, because what the Oracle is going to do is it's going to give you all the scouting information in the world. And it's a really, really effective unit at scouting because it is so fast. You can fly it into the Terran base all the time, and they really can't do a whole lot to stop you from checking out everything they're doing, right? So again, you can see here, I'm starting to take my gas. I've got my robo down. I'm going to get my robo base shortly. When I got my robo bay, I also built my forge. And again, you don't have to be super, super amazing on these timings. But the Oracle is going to be what's putting pressure on the Terran player for you. So obviously, you would do more with it. In my case, I'm just sitting it over there because I don't want to actually kill the AI with it. But now you have your robo up to get your observer and all that stuff. You're in fantastic shape. The game is looking good. If you want, you can add on 3 more gateways and you'll be okay. The one big thing I want to say about this too, when you're playing against a Terran player, is make sure you use that Oracle to scout for his third and figure out when he's taking it, and take your third at basically the same time. If a Terran player takes his third, and essentially the first time you see it is when it lands, and you go take your third at that time, as a Protoss player, that's actually okay. You don't need to worry about it too much. It's okay to be behind in that particular situation. It ends up not being a big deal. The worst thing that can happen is you go to greedily take your third, and the Terran player does some really heavy push off 2 bases, and you spent a bunch of money on a third base that's not going to pay off, and it just gives the Terran player an extra avenue to attack, right? So, not too big of a deal. Again, the reason we're getting the 3 sentries, by the way, in this case, because we are going for Phoenix Colossus, and eventually we're going to get charge lots, but right now our Zealots don't have charge, and they're not going to get charged for a little while. So it's important that we have 3 sentries so we have enough energy to force field behind the bio so our Zealots can run up and kind of cut them to pieces. And then combined with our armor upgrade, as well as the +1 armor and Guardian Shield, our Zealots are really going to have a heyday. They're going to be very difficult for the Terran player to kill. Then you're going to have Colossus on top of that to back them up. So you might have to deal with a push and kind of hold out as you wait for your Colossus to come with your Mothership Core, but it's not too big of a deal, and it's not too hard to keep the Terran away, or just force field them and use your Zealots to kind of clean them up. And again, from where you take the build from here is entirely up to you. You can play totally standard off it, but I highly recommend it, and it's a build that's used very often at high level play because it allows a Protoss player, to really show off and use his micro ability and his multitask more so than you get at any other time. Now, I will say this to you guys out there: it is a challenging build to do. You do need to be pretty good at scouting the Terran and figuring out what he's doing, figuring out when he's going to come attack you. You have to be pretty decent at controlling your Phoenix so you can, prevent drops, almost like you have a pack of Mutalists out there, because you can't really drop a player that is going for Phoenix Colossus. It's almost impossible to do it, right? And a lot of Terran players will be like, I have to drop. So, anyway, guys, real simple, real straightforward. It is a challenging build, but I highly recommend you go out there and you try it out for yourself. See how fast you can get all your timings, see how quick you can get everything up and running. And once again, guys, I will see you guys later on. This is Filter SC. I hope you enjoyed this particular video. And for new Protoss players out there, I hope it helped you out. And I hope you enjoy some of the free wins you're going to get off a bunch of Terrans that are going to rage because you made an Oracle at a funny timing. I'll see you guys next time.